Hello, my words on wellness folks. Tonight we are in my little garden. Look at those sunflowers back there. Those are tomatoes. Absolutely unbelievable. I shouldn't assume that everyone that's listening is from Wisconsin, but that's where I'm from. So I'm pretty excited. I just started these little raised gardens this year. I usually have a large garden, but it was just becoming too shady. It was too close to our woods, and it was also not really good soil. So I really consider myself a foodie. I've been a dietitian for 21 years, and so I'm so excited to be growing some of our own food. So tonight, I'm just gonna take a few minutes or today, whenever you're listening, to talk to you about herbs, okay? So I have a little herb garden behind me, and I am growing some basil. All right, so whether you make pesto with your basil, using it in a lot of your Italian dishes, it smells amazing. It's a very strong scent. It's also a very good herb to grow if you're new to gardening. Now, maybe you live in an apartment. Maybe you have absolutely no green space. Don't be discouraged. You can plant herbs, grow them in your house any time of the year. All you need is a window, okay? So I am blessed. I do live in Wisconsin. We have a shorter growing season than many other states, but I do have some land and I do have room for a garden. But again, if I didn't, I would just get some pots and start planting some of my own food. So basil's a really good one. I keep smelling it like I don't know what it smells like, but it is smelling so good tonight. Another one I have tonight is mint. Okay, this is new to me. I haven't grown mint before. Actually, I needed mint for a fruit salad recipe, and that's what prompted me to buy this mint plant, because the store was all out of mint in those little packages. So I bought the whole plant, cut it down, used what I needed, and now it's been growing in my little herb garden. But it smells so amazing. This is really good in water. It's hot in Wisconsin right now. It's in the 80s, 90s. Some of you are probably laughing if you live in more like Arizona or Texas. But mint tastes really good in water. It's just a really nice herb to use. Just know that it is very invasive. So if you plant it, it can take over. So just make sure, lots of times people just use it in their little pots so that it doesn't take over their whole garden. But I know this about mint, so I am ready to bat it down so it doesn't take over my garden. The third one that I planted this year is parsley, and I have a lot of parsley, and it's not only like a garnish, it makes a gorgeous garnish, but you can actually chew on it after to freshen your breath. There's a lot of other uses for parsley as well. Now, what I want to talk a little bit about is, yes, using fresh spices is amazing, but if you don't have fresh spices or herbs, it's still okay to be using different spices, okay? And why would you want to use different herbs and spices is because it's going to help bring out the flavor of the food. And when you use spices, herbs, whether it be fresh or the dried, you tend to use less salt. And as Americans, we use a lot of salt, okay? The recommendation for sodium is 2,300 milligrams of sodium per 1 teaspoon, okay? And that's what we're supposed to have per day, no more than that. Probably less if you have heart conditions, okay? Every 5 years, the dietary guidelines come out, and the most recent guidelines are now suggesting that, again, 2,300 milligrams or 1 teaspoon of sodium salt a day, okay? If you compare that to sea salt, there is 1,900 milligrams of sodium in 1 teaspoon of sea salt. So if the word salt is on the label, it's salt. Whether it be seasoned salt, Himalayan salt, that tends to be a little less processed salt, but it still is sodium. So you really want to watch that, especially if you're having high blood pressure issues, okay? But that's my whole point of today's Little Words on Wellness segment, is to really encourage, okay, dried or fresh. And of course, I'm a dietitian. You would think I would always push fresh, but bottom line, it's going to help flavor your food so you use less sodium. A rule of thumb, somewhere I read, and I think it's really, really good advice, is that if you're using fresh herbs, then you want to use 3 times as much as the dry. So if a recipe is calling for a teaspoon of dried parsley, then I would put in 3 teaspoons of, crushed or cut up fresh parsley, okay? Same things with all of them. But again, that's just a little bit of words on wellness. Thanks for letting me join you tonight in my garden. Those are tomatoes. I am 5'6". They are 6 feet tall. Amazing. I am blessed. Okay, until next time, take care, and you know what to do. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing. I love doing this. I love sharing. Hopefully you're getting some tips. Please, please, please always ask me questions or comment because I'm here for you. This is your journey. All right, take care.